Through 3 weeks, the Detroit Lions defense ranks 32nd in allowing red zone touchdowns.
I expect them to hold the Seahawks to under 20 points.
32nd in allowing rushing touchdowns.
Still not good.
Now they're missing Tracy Walker for the year.
Pieces they're missing, like Romeo Okwara, like Jerry Jacobs, like Levi, like Josh Pascal.
I'm not ready to abuse or just poo-poo on Aaron Glenn quite yet.
Rip Geno Smith's head off.
The Detroit Lions defense been allowed, I believe, the most points last year, if not the second, for sure. This year, looking the same. Through 3 weeks, the Detroit Lions defense ranks 32nd in allowing red zone touchdowns, 32nd in allowing rushing touchdowns, and now they also have allowed the most points since the beginning of the season to now.
That's not good.
Now, obviously, Aaron Glenn, we've said some positive things about him, but just through consistency, just as you said, not good.
That's not good.
How you feeling? Like, how are you grading Aaron Glenn at this point? Are you rough on him or what? Like,
I mean, he's making a salad with some spoiled vegetables, so you can't really put too much into it. But it's still not good. It's not good. It's not up to par. You talked about the different rankings of 32 in multiple different areas. They're averaging 408 yards given up per game. They're averaging 265, almost 266 passing yards per game, 142 yards on the ground, and 31 points per game. You're not going to win a lot of games if you average 31 points given up per game.
Yeah.
That is tough. It is tough. They need to tighten some things up. Hopefully, we'll get to you. Don't worry. Don't throw a fit. We'll hopefully,
no, he's grounded.
When these guys start coming back, you know, we talked about pieces they're missing, like Romeo Okwara, like Jerry Jacobs, like Levi, like Josh Pascal. Hopefully those guys can come in here and make a difference. We'll see more ferocity out of that front seven. We'll see more killing intent out of our defensive ends and edge rushers. So that's what I like to see. I like to see those guys be mean, be nasty, be physical. I think they've done that to a point.
Yeah.
But they definitely need to clean some things up. Like I said, you're not going to win a lot of games if you're letting up 31 points.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said, I should have never heard this, by the way, making a salad with spoiled vegetables. But 100%, man.
I'm dropping bars.
Dropping bars.
Bars.
But nonetheless, though, you look at this team, and there's not really like a guy on the defense. You know, like there's names that like other team fans may know, like Jeff Okudah, but I think that's more based off draft position than it is like actual production.
Yes.
And the same with Hutch too. Like you can say Hutch is a name, but he's very much in the show us stage of his career. You know, and we've had some good and bad, and as of now, the bad's outweighing the good. But nonetheless, it just doesn't have that. You know.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to like bash Aaron Glenn for that. I mean, this defense has changed like strategically and schematically just in 1 year because of who he's gotten now on this team. It just he doesn't have like guys on here to create an immaculate defense. Now I'm not 100% giving him an excuse because I think there's other teams around the league that have similar situations that have had better defensive games. And I'm not saying like Glenn hasn't had good defensive games too. As we said yesterday, there's like 4-6 games. Last year, if we would have scored 20 points, like we win, which obviously proves like good defensive showings. Another thing too is Brad Holmes has addressed that defense. In fact, I think in the past 2 years, we got Levi, Iffy,
Aleem,
Josh Pascal, Aleem, Aiden, Derek Barnes. So he's invested in this defense. The only issue is a lot of those guys banged up. Levi and Enrique not seeing the field. Iffy Melifonwu been dealing with that hamstring for so damn long. You got the same situation with Josh Pascal. Well, obviously his is like the hernia, which I hope we get him back after this week for it. I mean, speaking to Dr. Pierce we had on the show when we very first started, hernias can vary, but typically you're back by within a month, So, but I'm not ready to abuse or just poo-poo on Aaron Glenn quite yet.
Yeah, me either. I'm not ready to throw the guy away. I'm not ready to throw this defense away. They, like I said, they still, and like you reiterated, they're missing a lot of pieces. They're missing a lot of those impactful pieces, guys that can be game changers. They're missing their highest paid defensive player in Romeo Okwara that they haven't had for damn near a year and a half now. So you bring him back, that's a 10-sack guy. Hopefully he's the same as what he was when he left. I can't expect that, but I expect him to come back and be a force. Campbell talked about John Kaminsky being out in that last game. And he might not be the biggest household name, but he said he does a lot for us up front, whether that's running stunts, whether that's pressuring the quarterback, crushing the pocket, and there are a lot of different things. So not having pieces like that up front don't bode well for you defensively. But they are going against the Seahawks offense this week, which has been subpar. If they allow the Seahawks to put up 30 points on them, then I'm burning the flag. Then I'm pulling the stake. Then I'm off it with the defense. Then I'll have to have conversations seriously about what Aaron Glenn is doing, what other parts of this defense are doing, who we seriously need to keep, what cornerstone pieces we have. Because if we allow that Seahawks defense led by Geno Smith to go out there and score 30 points against us at home, that makes me worry. That would make me worry. Right now, I'm not too worried. We saw a good offense last week, arguably the best offense in the NFC North last week in the Vikings. We saw the Washington Commanders offense before that, which is not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
And then obviously Philadelphia week 1, who has one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm not freaking out just yet, but I need to see results against a subpar offense with a subpar offensive line and a subpar quarterback.
Yeah.
We need to go out there. We need to right the ship against the Seahawks, which I expect.
Yeah.
I expect them to hold the Seahawks to under 20 points.
100%.
I think that is a realistic expectation. I think
24.
It's something they need to happen. That needs to happen.
Show us.
Yeah, I mean,
Show us.
Yeah, he's got the spoiled vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to make a salad with spoiled vegetables. It's not because we've seen the good things too, right? We've seen. I mean, obviously, Okuda really only had his rookie year to go off of.
Yes.
But I mean, the way he started this season, he's been phenomenal. And you can't call Devontae Smith like a bust or like a guy who just had like one good year because, since moving on from Okuda, he's had 2 good games.
The next week, he went up for like 160 yards.
Yeah, 169 yards last week and a touchdown. Same scenario with Terry McLaurin, had the most yards he had last week. And then Justin Jefferson. But, Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn, they tapped that, they tapped in and they got that out of him. They tapped that, boy. But moving on too though, like, more names to put on that list though. Jerry Jacobs, a guy's an undrafted free agent. We saw the potential in him. I feel like a lot of that stuff was brought to life through Aaron Glenn, and I'm just not ready to poo-poo him yet. Nips, now you can ruin the segment.
Okay. Well, no.
That's what I'm here to do.
Well, a long time ago, I thought this question, what was it, 32nd for a bunch of those defensive stats?
32nd in red zone touchdowns, 32nd in rushing touchdowns, and 32nd in points allowed.
What ranking would you be okay, knowing the talent that Aaron Glenn is currently dealing with, what ranking for the NFL would you be okay with those numbers being at?
Like 20, finishing the year?
Like 20 to 24.
Yeah, give me in the 20s.
Give me in the 20s.
At least in the 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're right. I expected this out of the defense. I expected our defense to be subpar. Now, this level of production, maybe not. But like I said, we went up against some pretty high-powered offenses in the first 3 weeks of the season. Mm-hmm. So it might be a little flash in the pan. This can be a game where they show what they're really made of, go in there, and like I said it every week, rip Geno Smith's head off. Like, I need Aiden Hutchinson. I need Charles Harris. I need Julian Okwara to go out there with killing intent and take care of business. Get him off his spot, get him on the ground, make sure he's not getting the ball into the hands of his playmakers like DK Metcalf, like Ty Lockett, like Rashad Penny, like Noah Fant. You can't let that happen. You need to get him early, get him on the ground, and make sure they can't get that offense going. A big part that Dan Campbell spoke to was winning first down. You win first down, you put them behind the sticks, it makes them not do the things that they want to do. It makes them alter their game plan.
Throws them off script.
Because now they're trying to make up for it. Now they're we have to get at least 5 yards on second down. Mm-hmm. We have to get into a third and manageable, and they might be reaching for things. They might have miscommunication, stuff like that all breaks down, and it starts by winning first down.
Yeah, to the point where I'd like to see them finish, and I'd say within the 20s, but I don't even know if that's realistic, and if they do, it would probably obviously be the back end of it. But now they're missing Tracy Walker for the year.
Yes, that is true.
And the guys that had to fill it in is Juju Hughes and Kirby and Iffy, who, again, brand new at the safety position. So, and this defense that they practiced throughout all the offseason is tailored around those safeties calling the plays. You know what I'm saying? Calling the audibles, all that good stuff like that. So, not likely, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not poo-pooing on Aaron Glenn yet because, like I said, I saw a positive, and I know he's working with.
Yeah, I'm not either. I respect him as a man. I respect him as a coach. I respect him as a motivator, and I'm not ready to poo-poo on him just yet. I'm not sell on Aaron Glenn just yet because, like I said, we have faced some good offenses. We did lose our best defensive player in the last game, so he's dealt with some controversy. But this week will be a big eye test. It will be a big test for this defense. And like I said, I expect them to step up. I expect them to go out there and to handle the Seahawks on the our defensive side of the ball. So
100%.
I hope it happens. I hope it's true.
I hope.